Hey, sports card fans, it's John, Wade Boggs fan. Hope you're all doing well. Normally, when I do a video showing some recent pickups, there's a theme to it. I try to pair cards that either are of the same player or maybe from the same set that I've picked up different players from, some sort of rhyme or reason to them. Whether it be just some Wade Boggs pickups or certain vintage cards that I've picked up. Well, not in this video. This video is just a random selection of some cards I've picked up over the last, maybe week or so. Went on a little buying spree. Nothing too extravagant. A lot of cheap buy it now cards. A few auctions that I won for not a whole lot of money, but they're still cool cards. I do have some Wade Boggs cards to show off and a few vintage cards as well. But for one of the cards, I have a bone to pick with Topps. It appears that they screwed something up either in the production or printing process. I got this one parallel card and I don't know, I had some questions about it, so I did some research on the internet, and it turns out that it was supposed to be this one thing but turned out to be something else, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. So I'll point that out when I get to it. So with that, yeah, let's go look at some random pickups. Okay, let's start off with my Wade Boggs pickups. The first one here is from 2022 Topps Black and White. I believe this was an online exclusive set. I'm not sure if they sold them via individual packs or a box. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't buy this off of the Topps website. This was an eBay purchase here. But really like the design. It's nice and simple. I really haven't seen examples of other players. Of course, they have parallel versions of the card where either the player is in color and the background's still in black and white, or the background's in color and the player's still in black and white, or a full color example. You name it. There's different versions that they put out, all different serial numbers and stuff. But this is the base card. Really like the image they used of Boggs there. I'm not sure if that's from his rookie year, but it is from it's an early photo of Boggs. But even back then, I swear he looked like he was in his 30s. But anyway, here is the back of the card. It doesn't really talk about the player itself. More like it talks about the set itself and the reason behind it and stuff. But I don't know, still a cool looking card and rather cheap. So another card to add to the Boggs collection. And the next three here are technically not Wade Boggs cards. Now in 2021, Stadium Club put out a Cal Ripken card. And in the image of Cal Ripken, he's sliding into third base, and who's covering third base but Wade Boggs. And his image is very prominent on the card, Boggs's image, in which technically Topps could have used that card as being a Wade Boggs card. And I happened to, I forget how I came across it, but I think maybe the listing had, Wade Boggs listed on the card as well, but it is a Don Mattingly card. And of course, there's Boggs in the background. So being a crazy super collector, I said, well, I need to add this card to my collection because even though it's a Don Mattingly card, it features Wade Boggs. So I picked this up. This is the base Stadium Club card. As you can see, it is the Don Mattingly. There's the base. And of course, I had to pick up the red foil parallel. Not serial numbered, and the black parallel. I'm not sure how far I'm going to go with the different parallels on this. Obviously, Mattingly, I think, commands a little bit higher price than Boggs. So if I haven't even picked up some of the other Boggs parallels, I may not want to spend the money on trying to get some serial numbered Mattingly cards in this. But at least I have the three main parallels, the base, the red, and the black. And from 2023 Topps, this is the 35th anniversary, going back to the 1988 Topps design. Love the image that Topps used here. Kudos to them. Although the kudos will end here in a minute, and you'll see why. But again, this is the 35th anniversary, so this is the back here. Obviously, it doesn't have his full stats, but it has the last, 6 years of his career with the Yankees and Devil Rays. So that's the base. Now, one of the parallel versions is supposed to be, and it's called the Real One Heritage Stock, and it's serial numbered 288. So I found a listing. I think, I can't remember whether there's an auction or buy it now, but I picked one up. And here it is. Okay. Looks a lot similar to the base. Based on the front. Here's the back. You can see it's serial numbered, was it 85 out of 88. And so I looked at this card, and I looked at the base. I even took them out of the top loader and the penny sleeve, thinking, okay, well maybe this one doesn't have a glossy finish to it. No, they're both glossy on the front, glossy on the back. So I'm like, what is the difference? And supposedly this Real One Heritage Stock parallel is supposed to be on the thicker cardboard that Topps Heritage is printed on. But supposedly, and I don't know how, either it was a mix-up at the printer, they didn't provide the printer any of the heritage stock. I don't know what happened. But basically, it's the same exact card. There's no difference between the two other than a freaking serial number put on the back. Now, I've had issues lately with all these parallels and all this stuff. Being a player collector, it's getting a bit frustrating of having to collect, a dozen or so different parallels, and it's starting to weigh on me as a player collector, to be honest. But especially when they start getting some of these parallels at really low serial numbers, just to create some scarcity. But to screw up a parallel to the point where you're flipping through a pack of cards, and you cannot tell at all that this is a parallel unless you flip the card over and just happen to notice, whoops, see, I even confused the two. Here's the parallel, that this one's numbered to 88. There's nothing different at all between these two cards. Just, I don't know, Topps, you screwed up. I mean, okay, great. I now have a Real One Heritage Stock parallel out of 88. That's not really a heritage stock card, but it's a freaking base card with a serial number stamped on the back. So, yay for me, but Topps really screwed up there. All right, enough ranting. Wade Boggs card is from, I think technically it's they do list it as a 2023 product. Topps does a lot of these online exclusive stuff, and I don't know if this is a new attempt by Leaf or whether they've done it in the past. If they haven't featured anything from Boggs. But one of my fellow Boggs collectors noted that Leaf was doing some online exclusive sort of print to order stuff that, hey, if there's 5 orders of this card, there's going to be 5 of them made. If there's 500, they're going to make 500, and so on. And they're calling this set Leaf Reimagined. And here's the card. It's a image, I guess, some almost looks like a computer generated image of Wade Boggs in the background. weird looking chicken in a helmet with was that a bat knob as a nose? I'm not quite sure. Obviously, Wade Boggs is, as nicknames the Chicken Man, has a sticker autograph. But again, as a player collector, it was a unique card. Again, not knowing how many people would be ordering this, figured there's a chance of maybe it being somewhat low of a print run. There were 81 orders, so mine was number 61 of 81. I was a little late to the game to pick up my copy before the time ran out to place an order, but still, it's card number 61 out of 81. So I guess this is the concept here. Born from the dreams and imaginations of the Leaf team, our latest creations bring your favorite athletes and celebrities to life in a whole new light. See your favorite stars in a unique and extraordinary way with Leaf Reimagined. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I don't know. Again, I get the theme, Chicken Man, stuff like that, but that's just one weird looking chicken. Yeah. But hey, again, as a player collector, you know, sometimes you're a little crazy in the stuff that you pick up to add to your collection. All right, enough with the Wade Boggs cards. On to some vintage. All right, we'll just put these over here like that. All right, again, just some random selections. I picked up two 1975 Topps cards on a little bit of a 75 Topps kick. I recently picked up the Robin Yount rookie card finally. Had picked up a couple other 75s. I think one is in the mail to me, so I have another 75 Topps coming, but I thought I'd show these two off here. The first one is the 75 Topps highlight, or the 74 highlights of Lou Brock, card number 2. Not too long ago, I picked up card number 1, the Hank Aaron. But here, the 74 highlights of Brock. Brock steals 118 bases. Nice PSA 6, good centering. Slight little chip there in the corner, but you know, overall presents very well. Didn't cost me much at all. I'm not going to read the whole thing here. If you want to pause the video and read it, Lou Brock steals 118 bases in the season. So there's that Lou Brock. And then, not to be outdone, I picked up card number 4 from the set. The 74 highlights of Al Kaline. Kaline joins 3000 Hit Club. Again, another PSA 6 copy. Nicely centered. Really nice image there of Al Kaline. And again, if you want to pause the video and read the background here, Al Kaline joins 3000 Hit Club. Now, what I thought was interesting here, I'm sure you've seen some listings of, you know, set break and, you know, in the title and all this stuff. But if you notice, if you take a look at the serial numbers there, this ends in 7119 and this is 7120. So these were part of at least a set or a single submission, and these cards were graded back to back. So the serial numbers are just one off there. So I found that interesting. And the last vintage pickup, I'm not sure if I want to go after this player for my next player run. I have his rookie card, so that definitely helps. But I think I only have maybe 4 other cards of his, and so it's, you know, it'd be a pretty big undertaking to go for this player run. Although, other than maybe his earlier cards, second, third, fourth year card type of thing, it shouldn't be too expensive to pick up. And I'm talking about none other than Frank Robinson. So I picked up this 1969 Topps copy in a PSA 4. What caught my attention, of course, was the centering. Really like the centering on this. Yeah, some corner wear, which brought it down to a 4. No creases. Pretty good registration and color. So I was very happy. Again, I can't remember whether this was an auction or not. This may have been a buy it now And maybe I even had, there's a maybe even an offer from the seller. Can't quite remember, but yeah, PSA 4. And check out the back, nice bright back to it there, well centered, really nice. Again, I think I may do a video in the future here about my growing love of PSA 4 vintage cards. I don't know, I just seem to have a knack for picking up some PSA 4 copies that, you know, again, upon real close inspection, you may be able to tell that, hey, yeah, it deserves a 4. I mean, I don't know if I can get up here close. I mean, you may not even be able to tell with the corners there. I mean, it's, yeah, that bottom right corner there, bottom left. Again, they're not perfect, but man, that's centering. Did the same thing with 69 Topps Johnny Bench. Picked that up in a 4 at, I think it was the last Chicago National, I believe. And yeah, was just thrilled to get that in a 4 because of the price point. It's a very, you know, it's his Bench's second year card and rookie cup and all that stuff. And a 4 fit my budget and was able to pick up a really nicely centered copy. Yeah, corners had some issues. And this Robinson is the same way. Really like this copy here and did not break the bank at all. Technically, I could have easily purchased a PSA 5 for what the PSA 5s are going for. Again, they're not that expensive. I looked at some PSA 5s and, you know, I didn't see one that was as well centered for this PSA 4. So why spend the extra money? You know, I'm glad I have the card. I'm not worried about getting high-end Frank Robinson cards for my collection. So I have the card. It has great eye appeal to me, so I can't ask for anything more. So, yeah, with that, 3 vintage pickups, a bunch of Wade Boggs pickups, 1 disappointing Wade Boggs parallel. I won't say anything more about it. With that, that's all I have for you. So until next time, thanks for watching.